Thank you, Madam Deputy. The Hong Kong-China delegation achieved remarkable results this year. They won 1 gold, 2 silver, and 3 bronze medals. Well, that's the result of the hard work of many involved, the athletes, the coaches, as well as the resources poured in by the SAR government. Now, every time when Hong Kong athletes took part in sports, the events, the chief executive, everybody, and everyone in the community would all rally them on. As Mr. Siobhan Howie pointed out, people were all watching sports. It seems that sports have united the people of Hong Kong. And so Mr. Vincent Chang has moved this motion in a timely manner. I would support the original motion as well as Mr. Ma Fung Kwok's amendment. Now there are 3 goals for development of sports. That is supporting elite sports, promoting sports in the community, and maintaining Hong Kong as a center for major international sports events. Now, the government has invested 42% more resources in elite sports. Instead of 13 elite sports 10 years ago, now there are 22 elite sports. Now, for table tennis, we saw tight competition between Hong Kong and the Japanese team. Now, of course, table tennis is a sports. It's a strong spot for the national team, but Japanese seems to be doing better. And we see that in 2006 there were 290,000 people playing table tennis, but by 2021, 330,000 people played table tennis in Japan. It's the same with fencing. Since Edgar Zhang won the gold, more people wanted to take up fencing. The government is now taking the opportunity to launch more interest classes. The government should do so, and then they could identify talents for nurturing. Now, of course, for athletes, when they retire, they face an uncertain future, so many people are deterred from taking up sports. For some of our medalists, they stopped their academic pursuits some years ago so they could focus on their training. Now they were able to win medals at the time. They received support from their family members. It was lucky of them. But of course, for athletes, it's not. In addition to support from family, they need support from community as well. Now, for in the country, many athletes, retired athletes, could go to Tsinghua and Peking University after retirement. And for Hong Kong, there is now a channel for retired athletes to take up tertiary education. So it is important, so as athletes could then continue with learning after retirement. Now, athletes have a strong determination. Perhaps joining the discipline services would be a good prospect for them. I hope the CSB, the Civil Service Bureau, would be flexible in their recruitment conditions. So for retired athletes, they could first join discipline services, and then they could take up education to meet the educational qualification requirements. Now, Mr. Ma Fung Kwok moves an amendment to set up the Culture, Sports and Tourism Bureau. So this bureau could then focus on promoting culture, sports and tourism as a one-stop service. Now, there are media reports that Guangzhou would want to partner with other cities in the GBA to take up certain sports events in the national games. Now, we have a 1-hour living circle in GBA. If Hong Kong could also join in this GBA effort, I believe that would help to promote the sense of national identity among Hong Kong people. And then people would continue their interest in sports. Thank you.